for court music. And as Sanjo developed, 가야금 became smaller, and the strings got closer together, so you could start playing faster and faster and faster. So really the pop금, or the 정악 가야금, looks very much like koto. And it played very much like koto. And the technique and the instrument changed with the development of the sanjo. So sanjo, san means scattered, and jo means modes or modes or melodies. So and you can think of jo in terms of both rhythm and melody, or modes, rhythmic and melodic modes. So it's very abstract music in some sense. It's very, it's not programmatic music. It doesn't tell a story.
And it's more, what do I say, off the cuff?
Well, originally there's, there were a lot of improvisational elements, and it was improvisational probably, but today it's almost completely memorized and handed down strictly from your teacher, and you.
What is your treasure, your greatest treasure? Tell me about your greatest treasure.
I was living as a 가야금 player for the last 10 years before I came here.
Really?
Means I was really poor.
Okay.
And I have to say, I think I have to talk about intangible treasures.
Okay.
Because, in order to study 가야금, I didn't have a lot of money, and all my teachers really took me in and sponsored me, basically. And without that kind of support and sponsorship and what they gave me of themselves, I definitely wouldn't be sitting here with you today. So I think my most prized possession is the knowledge that each of my teachers has imparted to me.
선생이 나눠주신 지식. Oh, really? Okay.
I'm really thankful to each of my teachers, because it's not very easy to teach, and they didn't just teach me; they really gave me something of themselves. So
right. And now it's interesting to see that you're keeping a Korean tradition alive a little bit, aren't you?
In a way.
The foreigners, it's kind of like what that original koto teacher was trying to do, isn't it?
I'm very much still in touch with her.
Yeah.
And I have an ensemble now. It's Japanese koto, Chinese jung, and Korean 가야금 and percussion. So
really?
한국 타악기. So we have a group together. So I always thought it was in.
Tell me about this group. This is very interesting. So you play. Where are they from?
So the tango player lives in Berlin. The jung player lives in Taiwan. Our koto player just died, so we have a new one.
Sorry to hear that.
It's it's a very difficult group to put together. So our koto player now, she has a DAD scholarship, I think. So she's half the time in Frankfurt and then half the time in Tokyo.
And are you all non-Asian, or?
Well, originally the group was all Asians living in the West, and I was Westerner living in the East.
Okay.
And now we're just kind of all over the place. They're all Asians, but the drummer, for instance, is Korean-German. He grew up in Germany.
Okay. So when you get this group together, it must be very interesting, the audience's reaction. I mean, you've got the Chinese instruments, the Japanese instruments, and the Korean instruments all playing on the same stage together. Very uniting, beautiful thing, I must say.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, there's been some experiments with this kind of group, and most of the people are just playing jazz or folk tunes, kind of improvising. But we got together. Actually, the first time I put this together was in 1998 with my teachers.
Okay.
And then when I got my own, next to the idea when I actually put the group together myself was in 2001 in Darmstadt, Germany.
Yeah.
And Darmstadt is kind of a center for Western new music. It's where the summer festival.
Really?
It's where all the composers, especially during the heyday of new music. Now we're sort of like post new music, but when you think of German new music, Darmstadt was really the center of that movement. And so it was very interesting to put this group together in Darmstadt. And we were the first sort of non-Western group to play in that context. So and we commissioned composers from all over the world, German composers and Chinese, Japanese, Korean composers to write for us.
Okay.
And, you know, the results are very mixed and very interesting.
That is very interesting. I'm also fascinated, and I hope those of you out here are watching will keep Jocelyn in mind when you're trying to do any events that are combining the cultures. I mean, that must be...
We actually played for the 2002 World Cup in Washington, D.C.
Perfect. 2002 World Cup would have been perfect.
The embassies of Korea and Japan came together,
Great.
and we did a project there. Our next... We're doing a tour of the United States in November.
Okay.
There's a big Asian music festival in Kentucky, of all places. Bluegrass Airport. It's perfect.
Okay. That's beautiful. It's been absolutely wonderful having you here today.
Likewise.
And I got some good news. You're going to be with us again next week.
Oh, wonderful.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you get to be sure that you're here with us again next week, because obviously we still have a lot to talk with Jocelyn about, and she's got plenty of interesting stories. It's been wonderful having you. Thank you so much.
Likewise. Nice
and we
to
look
meet you.
forward to being with you again next week on Star English, everybody. Bye-bye. And a shot of Korean. 오늘의 표현은 입이 무겁다. 사람은 비밀을 잘 얘기 안 한다. 걱정 안 해도 된다. 이런 의미죠. And what does that mean? How would you want to say that in English? 우리는 비밀을 지키다란 말 사용해요. So, let's say 그 사람은 입이 무거워요. She knows how to keep a secret. 그 사람은 비밀을 지킬 줄 알아요. She knows how to keep a secret. Okay? There's your Korean expression for the day. 네, 오늘은 가야금 연주자 조슬린 클락과 함께 여러분 국악 이야기를 나누어 봤습니다. 한국인조차 재미없다, 지루하다라고 생각하는 국악을 사랑하는 모습이 참 인상이 깊었습니다. 다음 시간에도 조슬린과 함께 국악과 동양 문화에 대해 재미있는 이야기를 나눠보겠습니다. See you next time. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.